The night was dark and silent. The forest was full of whispers. The air smelled of wet leaves and secrets. The moonlight struggled to reach the forest floor. A faint sound of footsteps broke the silence. It was King Vikramaditya, the brave and unyielding ruler. He walked slowly through the dense forest, carrying a corpse on his shoulder. The body was cold and lifeless, but it was not ordinary. It was Betal, the clever ghost, who loved riddles more than peace. The king's armor glowed faintly under the moonlight. His footsteps echoed like a heartbeat in the eerie night. Suddenly, the corpse moved slightly. Then came a chilling laugh, sharp, echoing, and strange. Betal had awakened again. Oh, mighty Vikram, you are carrying me through this haunted forest. Tell me, O king, how long will you fight destiny? Vikram said, until my task is done, Betal. Speak your tale. Test me as you wish. Very well, Vikram, but remember, if you know the answer and keep silent, your head will burst into pieces. The wind stopped. The forest turned still. Even the stars seemed to listen, and Betal began his tale in a deep and mysterious voice. Long back ago, a wise king named Suryasen was ruling the rich kingdom of Vardhaman. He was known far and wide for his fairness and good heart. His only son, Prince Harischandra, was the pride of the land. The young prince was brave, intelligent, and kind. People loved him deeply. He was both handsome and humble, but he had one unusual habit. He spoke very little. He preferred silence and observation over words. Some people thought that he was proud or distant, but those who knew him well saw the wisdom in his quiet eyes. One fine morning, the prince was walking through the palace garden. The sun was gentle, and birds were chirping happily on the trees. Two parrots sat on a branch talking among themselves. Their conversation caught the prince's attention. First parrot is saying, our prince is clever, but does he really know what the true justice means? The second parrot said, we shall see that soon. Fate will surely test him. The prince smiled softly, but those words stayed in his heart. That night, he went to his teacher, who is the royal sage. He bowed with respect and asked him what the true justice is. The sage looked at him kindly and replied, my son, true justice is not about reward or punishment. It is about fairness and finding the truth beyond emotion. The prince folded his hands and promised to remember those words forever. Days passed. The fame of Prince Harischandra spread across the kingdoms. People admired his calmness, courage, and intelligence. One day, a message arrived from the neighboring kingdom of Mithilapuri. Their princess was graceful, wise, and beautiful. Her father proposed a marriage alliance with Prince Harischandra. King Suryasen accepted that proposal happily. The palace burst into joy and celebration. Musicians played drums and flutes. Flowers decorated every hall. The people waited excitedly for the royal wedding. But in a corner of Mithilapuri lived a soldier named Veerabahu. He was brave, loyal, and honest. He had secretly loved the princess for years. He never dared to tell her. The princess also admired his courage and simplicity, but she kept her feelings locked inside her heart. When she heard that she would marry Prince Harishchandra, she was filled with sadness. She respected the prince, but her heart was filled with love for Veerabahu. Torn between love and duty, she spent sleepless nights. Finally, she decided to follow her heart. On the day of wedding, the palace was full of confusion. The princess had disappeared. Servants shouted and ran through corridors. The king's voice thundered through the halls. Find my daughter at once. After hours of searching, the guards returned. They had found the princess in a small forest hut with Veerabahu. The news spread like a wildfire. The princess and the soldier were brought before the king Surya Sen. The court was silent. Ministers and courtiers looked down and afraid to speak in front of the king. The king's face was red with fury. This is a disgrace. My son's wedding has turned into a shame. He turned to the prince and said, Harishchandra, as the future ruler, this matter is now yours. Pass your judgment. The court grew silent again. The prince stood still, thinking deeply. The princess stood trembling, and tears were there in her eyes. Veerabahu bowed down and was ready to accept the punishment. Finally, the prince spoke softly but firmly. Father, they have broken the royal law, but not the law of the heart. If we separate them, we may protect our pride, but we will destroy their happiness. A ruler's duty is to serve the truth and peace, not his ego. Therefore, I declare the princess shall choose her own fate. Let her decide whom she wants to marry, me or Veerabahu. The court gasped in surprise. The princess wiped her tears and bowed to the prince. O noble prince, your kindness has set me free. I love Veerabahu, but you have earned my eternal respect. Veerabahu touched the Prince Harishchandra's feet and said, Your Majesty, you are truly great. I shall serve your name forever. King Suryasen's anger melted into pride. My son, you have proved that compassion is greater than power. You will be a ruler remembered for justice and mercy. The court erupted in applause and joy. What began as a scandal now ended as a story of wisdom and grace. Back in the forest, Betal finished the tale and smiled. Now tell me, O King Vikram, was the prince clever or foolish to lose his bride for emotion? King Vikramaditya replied calmly. The prince was wise. He chose justice over pride. A ruler who wins hearts through fairness wins loyalty forever. Betal laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha. You have spoken the truth, O mighty Vikram, but you have broken your silence, and our pact ends here. With a sudden gust, Betal flew away into the dark night, and his laughter fading through the trees. A wise person always chooses justice over ego, compassion over pride, and truth over emotion. True strength is not in winning battles, it is in winning hearts. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and support my channel. Share the video to your friends and families if you like the narration, and subscribe my channel for more such fascinating content. Thank you. Jai Hind.